Yes, people, how's it going? Welcome back to Lily White Lane. Hope you're doing good, hope you're keeping safe and well, and hope you're having a fantastic and a smashing Friday. Look, a couple days after the game against Manchester United now, and there's a lot to take away, and there's a lot to discuss. But there's one thing that I did want to discuss that I've seen on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube, and it's a minority, but it's still a good amount of people saying it and a good amount of people sharing their opinion. It's the opinion that some Spurs fans want Conte out. I've seen Conte out being banded around a few social media platforms. Now, as a supporter of this club, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's the fans who give their money, who give their time to support this club. So, whilst you do that, you are completely entitled to have an opinion on the future and what goes on at your football club. But these people who are saying Conte out, I don't think they're looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at a couple of losses, a couple of bad performances, and saying it's not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. What Tottenham Hotspur? Like we were challenging for the league before Antonio Conte come. Like we were even near top 4 before Antonio Conte come. You look over the years, 60s, Tottenham were absolutely fantastic. Best team in the land. 70s, Tottenham were not the best, to be honest. 80s, Tottenham winning European trophies, FA Cups. Very, very good Tottenham team. 90s, early 90s, Tottenham were fantastic. Mid-table team for the rest of the 90s. 2000s mid-table team. It's only in the last 10 years Tottenham have been truly contending for Europe. And it's only really under Mauricio Pochettino where we've had a consistent run in the top tier of European football, in the Champions League. So Pochettino goes. Right, Jose Mourinho comes in, leaves us in an absolute shambles, finishing 7th. Nuno, 9th in the league under him. The club's in an absolute shambles. Conte takes over whilst we're 9th in the league. Turns the club around. Turns players such as Ben Davies and Eric Dyer into consistently good players. Yes, they have had a couple bad performances, but consistently good players. He's turned some terrible, terrible players under Nuno and Jose into not brilliant ones, but very consistent ones. Ones able to do the job. He took us from 9th last season in a terrible position. Our captain, Hugo Lloris wanting to leave. Harry Kane wanting to leave. He's made Harry Kane, Hugo Lloris and all the top players at the club want to stay. Got us back into the Champions League. We're sat 3rd in the league. And a 3-point gap between us and 4th currently in Chelsea. And a 4-point gap between us and Man United and dropping out of the top 4. And because we've lost 2 games in our Premier League season, people are going Conte out. Because he's not playing the best football. Are you being serious? These are the same people who are saying Conte out, who said, I don't care about good football, I care about winning trophies. And we put in a couple bad performances and people are saying Conte out. I know it's the minority, and I know everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But these people are massively, massively overreacting. We haven't been that bad this season. Right, as much as the media will try and spin that narrative, we've had some really good performances, such as the Frankfurt 3-2 win, the Fulham win, the Southampton win. We've had the Everton win, some very, very convincing performances where we've played really, really good football. And we've had the occasional bad performance, I understand that. The occasional bad performance, what we've lost. We've only lost 3 games all season. We're top of our Champions League group still, but we lost 2-0 to Sporting, 2-0 to United and 3-1 to Arsenal. They're not absolute thrashings, although all 3 of them potentially could have been. And people are saying Conte out. If we were sat 10th in the league, doing absolutely rubbish, bottom of our Champions League group, then maybe it would be justified. But he's overachieving with the players we have. We have players such as Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, who are top tier players, right? Top tier players. Kulusevski, another one, a very, very good player. Hugo Lloris, a very, very good player. Perisic, a very, very good player. The rest, they're not the best players. Conte is making the rest of them look better than they actually are. And this whole Conte out thing, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Okay, you want Conte out? Who do you want to bring in? These people who are going Conte out. Who do you actually want to bring in? Thomas Tuchel, another Chelsea reject, another top manager number 15, probably going to get sacked, right? Probably going to get sacked. Do you want Poch back? Because I guarantee you, it will be nowhere near as good as the first time. And once again, he won't be back with the players he wants. Right? Who do you actually want in? Do you want to take a look at people like Michael Beale? Steven Gerrard, who might play a bit of a good attacking football, but will be absolutely shit and keep losing game after game? You know, I don't understand Conte out. I don't understand it as a story. It's just, it frustrates me, and I know it frustrates a lot of other Tottenham fans, how people can sit there and say Conte out. Another thing I do want to say, criticising Conte is completely different to Conte out. I criticised him for the Manchester United defeat. I don't think it was all on him, but I think he made mistakes. A lot of people are saying if you criticise Conte, you're automatically Conte out. It's not like that. I'll criticise Conte if he does something wrong. That doesn't mean I want him out of the club. I definitely believe, and most of the fan base believe, he's the best man to take us forward based on the job he's doing right now and based on the job he's already done with this team. People have a very, very short-term memory. Do you remember what happened at the end of last season? People are going Conte out. He's always played rubbish football. No, he hasn't. He's had a few bad performances this season. Do you not remember last season when he first came in? The 2-2 against Liverpool, thrashing teams such as Crystal Palace, playing very, very good football. The end of last season, 3-0 against Arsenal, 5-0 against Norwich, into the top four in emphatic fashion, Son winning the Golden Boot, you know. People are forgetting these performances. The 5-1 against Newcastle, the 4-0 against Aston Villa. You know, Antonio Conte got those results. He turned around the club in a shambles to get those results and get us in the Champions League, playing great football, getting there. And just because we've had a couple bad performances this season, people are saying they want him out. It's absolutely ridiculous. Conte is 100% in my mind the right man to take us forward, and I think saying Conte out is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The job he's done and the backing he's got, which isn't brilliant to be fair. We had a decent summer window. Nothing too special, right? He's overachieving with his team right now and overachieved with his team last season. Nuno would have stayed in last season, we would have finished 10th or 11th. Jose Mourinho was there the whole of last season, we would have finished mid-table. This is what Antonio Conte does. He's a serial winner. He overachieved. We're top of our Champions League group, for crying out loud. And people are calling for him out. Absolute not... Oh! I nearly said absolute knobheads. They're not knobheads because people are entitled to their own opinion. If you pay the money, I always believe if you pay the money and, you know, you give everything to your club and you really care about the club, if you're a supporter, every supporter of this club, right, is entitled to their opinion, no matter where you're from. But I just think saying Conte out is spreading negativity and creating a narrative that shouldn't exist. It really shouldn't exist. Away from the Football Terrace and a couple of YouTube channels, it's only in the Spurs fan base where we're hearing Conte out. Never in the media, because they don't even think of it like that. It's just Conte out. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. People are falling into this narrative that the media want you to believe that Conte's too good for Tottenham. Since he came in, they've been trying to get Conte to leave. Do you remember that Lost in Translation interview? Like, they messed it up. Come on, you changed his words to make it look better for your story. After the Burnley game, Conte reactionary gets annoyed. Everyone's saying Conte's going to leave. Conte out, it frustrates me. It's a statement for me that shouldn't exist. And like I say, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But if you're truly Conte out, I think you need to consider who you actually want in and what you actually want for this club. Would you rather have a couple bad performances here and there and be overachieving, getting to the top four last season, currently sat third and top of our Champions League group? Or would you rather have a manager such as a Michael Beale, such as, I'm trying to think of attacking managers, Marcelo Bielsa, you know, even Thomas Tuchel, who plays with this fantastic football, yet fails at the club, right?